And off we go. And an early touch here for Rory Feely, who had 2 great years down in Waterford. Young Player of the Year in his first season, Player of the Year in his set clubs, the likes of Villa and Tramore. Brown had a spell with Waterford Crystal as well. Now Niall O'Keefe's lost out here, and Bohemians have numbers forward. It's Georgie Kelly. Works it right to Ali Coote. Livingston's at the back post, climbing, just couldn't control his header.
Yeah, it was a clever ball by Coote. I think he was trying to pick Livingston out in the hope that he could not.
For their upcoming qualifier against Moldova. Trying to organise this Waterford defence here. It's the outswinging corner. Kelly climbing just over his head. Good header away by John Martin. Back in by Livingston. It's a wonderful save. That is absolutely outrageous from Brian Murphy. It looked in. The Bohs man in possession. He was the one who made the run in behind. And now it's the Ali Coote corner. Burt towards the near post. Instead it's towards Kelly. He glances off his head and behind.
Yeah, he just couldn't back up enough just to get his head over that ball. And
it took 3 to see him off in the end. Not long until Bohs are back in possession. Devoy driving on, letting fly, and straight down the throat of Brian Murphy.
Yeah, fair play to Devoy. I wonder if Keith Long is...
Niall O'Keefe loitering just outside the penalty area. Plenty inside it. 6 in blue shirts. Adam O'Reilly almost on the toes of Talbot. It's Griffin who made a sharp run towards that near post. A little bit of invention on the free kick. A little bit of blocking to give Griffin his
time to work with his team before getting into this series of games, and I suppose he's going to take an awful lot of time during the break to try and work with them on the pitch. But I suppose that's the thing you can work on, is set pieces, isn't it? Trying to score goals from set pieces when you've just come in like that and you're not familiar with the players you have at your disposal.
Layoff from Tierney. Devoy turns back and away from pressure. Livingston. Fantastic feat from Conor Livingston again to ease away from Jamie Maskell, who's now trying to get out to help out Cian Brown against Ali Coote. Feely. Here on Kelly. A spell up north with Ballymena United last season. Playing for David Jeffrey. Tierney. Right swings in the cross. Georgie Kelly looking for that flicked header. Got himself between centre halves.
Judy McDez, if he had hair, you might have got that one in. No, it was a really good cross there by Burt, and he's one of those players you can see, because he is so dangerous for Bohemians. Every time Burt gets in possession, now there's 2 or 3 blue shirts around him.
Tierney's touch out to Burt. Here's Breslin. Look at how important full-backs are in the modern game, and Keith Long, he's got 2 strong ones for the right side, 2 strong ones for the left. And he has alternated those positions through the season so far.
Yeah, one good one went to Longford as well, of course, in the close season. Paddy Kirkin, he was excellent for Bohemians as well. I know he's a big Bohs man. He missed around Dalymount Park, but as you say, Keith Long definitely getting the team into Europe 2 seasons in a row. And I suppose one of the mottos around here, the things that I know that some of the board will keep telling you, that success isn't always a straight line. You know, you're going to have your hiccups along the way. This season didn't go off to a great start for Bohemians, but not like last season where there's only 18 games. There's still plenty of matches to try and rectify it.
Here's an opportunity. Dawson Devoy, and his left foot gets his shot away, and that one not too far wide. You can tell by his reaction. He thought that Alpha Wonder Liam Burt's.
Yeah, it all started from a good block there from Livingston as well around midfield. And getting that ball to Burt. I just wonder if he might have been better to chip that across the goal instead of trying to go through that wall of blue shirts. He's starting to get a bit more ball now, Liam Burton, being a bit more of a threat down that Waterford right side.
Tierney with the layoff for Livingston. And the gory man out to the right-hand side, taken instantly by Ali Coote, and off goes Andy Lyons. Test here for Cian Brown, who's struggling to keep pace with him. Inside towards Dawson Devoy, and Bohemians make the breakthrough. The young guns heavily involved again. And Waterford's brave first half resistance crumbles 37 minutes in. Fantastic sweeping move from Bohemians, and a goal swept home by Dawson Devoy.
It's brilliant football, Des. Brilliant football. Really good stuff there. And I was only thinking just a couple of minutes ago, Bohemians aren't making enough attacking runs down that right-hand side. I did mention earlier that Andy Lyons can be so threatening to opposition teams when he gets into the box or gets down that right flank. He's such a powerful runner and a brilliant man for putting in crosses or even having a shot himself, but he managed to pick out Devoy there. That is a lovely finish from Dawson Devoy, and perhaps listening to that advice that you mentioned, Keith Long.
Does Breslin fancy a little look at this with his left foot?
Maybe Livingston.
Punched away by Brian Murphy.
Yeah, I think that was going in for goal, wasn't it, Des? It was just a good save again from Brian Murphy.
By stepping away from that near post.
Good solid right hook there from the goalkeeper.
Now Ali Coote to stick this corner into the penalty area. Georgie Kelly didn't reach him. Rory Feely back into the mix, and there's the second goal. Ross Tierney heads in from close range. It's all going right late on in this first half. Now, it has been something quite noticeable this season as well. The young talent in this league and what they've done, how they've stepped up to the market. Quite a few clubs, as well, of course, as seeing the likes of Gary Deegan and Greg Bolger moving on, the experience that they bring and the effect they've had on the clubs they've gone to. It's been an intriguing season so far.
Yeah, Bolger's been fantastic for Sligo Rovers. I think he's one of the signings of the season.
Andy Lyons driving on the inside. Good little run this. Georgie Kelly back to Andy Lyons again. Oh, another brilliant save from Brian Murphy. Oh, it was so close, a hair's breadth away from time in the world here for Rory Feely. He sets up Talbot. The goalkeeper takes the touch and clears. Up in the air from Devoy, who was then caught by Niall O'Keefe, who got there as quickly as he could. Word or two exchange between the two youngsters as Andy Lyons plays on. Tierney makes his move. Gets himself back on side. Here is Ross Tierney and towards Georgie Kelly. And Brian Murphy absolutely furious here. Directing his anger towards the referee. Side effect. It's Adam O'Reilly standing over the ball to get this second half underway. And Cameron Evans straight away for Waterford, looking towards, and Tierney was off and running. Shipamba. Oh, and that's a loose one, picked up by Georgie Kelly, who's into the penalty area. Tight angle, needs some support now. Still with Georgie Kelly. Devoy plays it first time. Here's the chance, squared across and away by Brown.
Oh, I think Coote had to try to shoot himself there. I know he's been brilliant as well, hasn't he, over in England? Of course, getting promoted with Bolton as well. And he's been just a fantastic regular goal scorer.
Oh, there's a problem here, and Feely's lost out. It's Shipamba. Waterford need a big moment here, but he couldn't find the finish. A tame effort in the end, easily taken by Talbot. The man Waterford, I think Keith Long will be looking at this situation, thinking maybe just one more goal before we contemplate maybe giving some players who haven't played a whole lot a few minutes today. Ashton Erie has been a curious one, really, I guess. I know he has had a bit of an ankle problem, but he's been a regular unused substitute.
Yeah, as you say, the ankle issue. I think general fitness as well. Perhaps maybe Keith Long felt that he just wasn't up to match fitness just yet. He did make a bit of an error in the build-up to one of those goals against Longford Town in that 2-2 draw. And I think maybe Keith wants to get him a bit fitter before he gets back into the team. Kieran Kelly's back fit again anyway, and back in that centre-half pairing with Feely.
And in terms of that central midfield area, I think certainly Conor Livingston has justified his inclusion again today.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's just so good with the ball, he's just so steady, nothing phases him.
Nice take and turn there from Tierney. Here is Burt, back to Tierney again. Kelly at the back post, Ali Coote arriving in as well. Kelly has taken it away from Burt. Out to the right-hand side, Andy Lyons makes it 3. Oh, beautiful finish. They worked it from left to right, and Andy Lyons arriving right on cue. Involved in the creation of goals in the first half. He's got one himself here, Andy Lyons. And that's the goal that surely seals the points against the 10 men of Waterford.
Yeah, I thought the chance was gone there when Georgie Kelly got that ball, and it was a poor first touch from him, but really clever then to bring Andy into play. Saw Andy making that run, which he so often does. And it was a brilliant first touch by Andy Lyons, and then to stick it under the goalkeeper like that. What a brilliant finish. Listen, I know he's way off, comparisons to Seamus Coleman, but he's...
Livingston.
I think I can see Keith Ward ready to come on the far side there for Bohemians. So I think this stage now, Keith Long might be thinking about just taking some players off there, keeping them fit.
That'd be a nice situation to come into. Andy Lyons has gone again and gets his cross in. Georgie Kelly kicks the post in frustration, just didn't get there in time at the near post. Kavanagh almost pulled it off. A lovely pass in the chest for the run of O'Reilly. And here's Keith Ward. Andy Lyons gone again on the right hand side. He's got one. He's wanting to get involved in more, Andy Lyons. His pass back to Feely. Livingston with a chance to advance towards halfway. Drops it over the top with his left foot. Stafford's header. Georgie Kelly finds a good first touch. Malloy gets there in the nick of time, just as Georgie Kelly was about to pull the trigger. Both stay on it though. Here's Keith Ward. Bypasses Devoy. Livingston. Breslin further left to Burt. Lovely setup for Anto Breslin again. Can he pick out the right cross? It's worked away by Brown. Devoy just couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, it was a decent opportunity there for Devoy. Bit of time and space.
For Waterford, Evan Ferguson was part of that team as well.
Yeah, from what I hear, Evan's doing quite well over at Brighton as well. No, he's his dad Barry will be good pals with someone I know as well has been basically telling me that he's been over there at Brighton and kind of impressing everybody.
Good work by Cian Brown, and Cian Kavanagh couldn't finish. Just had to try and get to the pitch of it and control that header, but